Okay, so I'm just going to run through quickly how the light effects background creator 4 works. So what we need to do, well, firstly is create a new document. We'll go, we'll stay at 1024 by 768, and we need to go to Window, Actions, and when you've loaded up the action, it will be under a folder called Light Effects Background Creator 4, and you'll also need to load up, if you want to, the reflection action. And I'll show you how that works. Hit down the tray. So the action to work, we need to create some text. Now I found that text with some nice swirls tend to produce some interesting results. So the font here is Edwardian script. I believe it's a standard font with the letter X, and you'll probably get a lot more detail if you create it bigger. So we'll go with this size here. And for the action to work, we need to rename the layer to BG and have it selected. Go to the action and just hit play. Now these the first two pop-ups are where you can play around with the angle of the streaks, but I'll just keep it 45 here. And again for the next layer. And the rest of the pop-ups you just need to hit enter. Okay, so it's done. And first we'll take a look at these top 4 layers. These are the adjustment layers, which pretty much control the overall color of the design. Well, it's a quick coloring solution, so we can just double click on these layers and drag the slider around to, recolor the design. The default action actually uses this filter here at around 30%, so you might want to turn this up or down. And here are just another 2 layers you can experiment with to change the color. You might want to select colorize and to get a solid color overall. Let's change that to 0. Master levels is where you can control the overall brightness and contrast of the design. The default level, what you want to move around are these 2 arrows here until you get something you like. The defaults seem to be pretty good. Now what the action does, it produces this stage area here, which you can scale up or down. To scale it up or down, you need to select the black and white alpha mask here and go to Edit, Transform, Scale, and you can move this up or down. Stage reflection just gives a soft light over the stage, just to add to the effect really. And inside we have a folder called Light Streaks, and this is where you can sort of be creative and move some of these layers around to produce sort of some unique results. So what it does, if I go to transform the scale of this layer here and zoom out, you notice that they're quite big, which leaves a bit of room for experimenting to see what's going to suit the design. And what you can also do is have one of the layers selected and go to Layer, Duplicate Layer, and that way you got another level of streaks which you can just move around, do what you want. You could also go into the layer and select Color Overlay and experiment with the opacity of the layer and the blend modes if you want. Cancel that. It produces a blue and purple background by default, but this you can change easy enough. I have set up a layer called Quick Color Change here. If you double click, you can just drag this hue slider around. What that does, it changes the top half of the design, so you got a bit more control. To change the bottom half, you could select this layer here, which is the stage, double click, select Color Overlay, change this to overlay, drop the opacity down, and experiment with different colours. Cancel out of that. Shut this off, and you can do the same for this layer here. You can double click, go to color overlay, and experiment with blend modes here. Just change the colors. Right. Now I want to show you how to use this reflection action that comes with the download. So if I just go to File, Place, got an image here of a phone, put this on the stage here. What you might also want to do is actually place your photo above these adjustment layers so they don't affect the original colours of the design. Okay, so for the reflection action to work, we need to rename our layer to Object, have it selected, and load up the reflection action and hit play. And so that's it, it's finished. It creates a reflection layer that if you brush into this alpha mask here, just grab a brush here. So if we brush black into this layer here, we can remove some of the shadow, the reflection, and if we brush white, we can bring it back in. And it creates it in a folder, so that way we can just move the layer around and it all stays together. And a little tip, if you want to run this action over a few objects in the same PSD file, you might want to rename the layer to say image 1 or something different from the default, because the action might look at it might get confused when it sees another folder called the same with the same name, so it just might conflict with things a bit. So you might also want to do the same with these two. It's just image 1 maybe, and reflection. So yeah, I guess the key with this action is to just experiment, especially with the light streaks, and play around with the colors if you want. You could even if I just turn this off, you could turn the stage off, and that way you have a nice background ready to go. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you like it. Just contact me via my homepage on Graphic River if you need any help, and I'll get back to you. Thanks.